the meat from last night.
Good evening. Welcome to the Guitar Hour. Cheers, guys. We always seem to have one technical issue before we go live, and this time it usually freezes on Dave's face.
Yeah.
Why is that,
It's probably
Dave?
my face that's doing it. As I look into the lens, it just goes.
I think I'm going to have to ban your face from my screen. Although it seems to be alright now. We're all looking a bit pink.
I
But
look very pink. My face looked like I got a sunburn or
It's
something.
because we've been drinking since 8 o'clock this morning.
yeah, we've all been
I wish.
drinking. We haven't really.
Hey Barry, hey Jordan, hey James.
Hi, guys. How you
Hey.
doing? Thanks for joining us. Hopefully it's all working now.
Hey,
You can
Alex.
hear us. We are ready for another Guitar Hour, episode 5 of season 2. Only one more episode to go. We've got a very cool special guest lined up for next week. Very, very cool indeed.
Awesome.
I'll let you know later in this episode who it is. Or it's two people,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is pretty
Double.
cool.
It's a twofer.
Provided we're not bailed
Twofer.
on. Should be good. So, for today's episode, I am drinking Hellfire Pale Ale, 5.2% IPA. Very, very nice beer, actually. I've never heard it before, but the Bronze supplied the beers for today.
I'm on the double importer Guinness, 3.8
Guinness?
session.
Any good?
It's
Interesting.
alright. Yeah.
It's alright. I'm on banana bread, and amazingly, it does actually taste like banana
Have a
bread.
banana.
Very good.
That's quite strong. It's stronger than I thought it would be.
5.2. I
Same
can
as
handle
this.
it.
Strong bananas. This is Proper Job. Cornish IPA. How do you say proper job? Like?
About time you had a proper job
Oh, I was gonna say
done.
that.
Hey.
Proper job. I've got loads of jobs.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Chris Bedwood. Hi, Michael Norris. Hi, Peter. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Steve. Steve Ozone. If you guys hear any extra low end, it's because I'm pooping right now. Thanks, Steve.
Cheers from Japan. Awesome.
Oh,
Hey.
Japanese viewer, cool.
I wonder what time it is in Japan. Tell us what time it is in Japan. I can probably
Yeah.
work it out, but I can't be bothered. Stella for me, not original. Nice one, Barry. Okay, so without further ado, let's go into our news section, guys. So, we have just a few bits of news for you today. First of all, the Gasturbation. What's up, Dave?
It's just the way, you sound like Jack and Nori's story. So
children.
then, boys
By
and
the way,
girls.
if you were here for the first bit of the stream before it failed, you might have heard Dan say something about.
Meat.
What did you say?
It's all the meat he got last
It's
night.
all the meat he got
All
last
the meat I
night.
had last night.
Sorry if you heard Dan's meaty exclamations.
Escapades.
Yeah.
Meaty confessions.
So the Gasturbation and Guitar Hour solo competition are well underway. They actually end
This weekend.
this weekend.
Yeah.
So what's the deadline, guys? Are we saying Sunday?
it's the third was on the rules.
The third was on
Yeah.
the rules. We've had loads of
I
entries
would
for the
say
solo
the
competition.
Solo
actually.
competition has gone crazy.
It's way more than I was expecting.
Some absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
playing on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they've all
Really
been,
tasty.
they've all been great. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so interesting seeing how everyone's taking it, approach
Yeah.
to it over that short little thing. It's awesome. And in fact, I don't know. I was saying to you, I say to you guys earlier? I went to YouTube and just randomly typed in the Guitar Hero solo, and there's just shitload more that I hadn't seen.
Oops.
So got
You,
quite.
We've
you make
got
a
a-
rod for your own back when you do these competitions because then you have to, watch everything and kind of you have to come to a decision on one. It's
Yeah.
really difficult.
I've kind of realised how tough it is as well to do a solo for such a short
Yeah.
So you've all done.
short thing. So everyone's
Yeah.
done really well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then trying to throw everything in that you can do in
Yeah,
6
that's
bars
it.
is crazy.
The full works.
The Gasturbation competition also ends this weekend. That one we've had a few entries, not as many as we hoped for, but we'll still pick a winner. We've had some nice rigs come in. You've still got time, so if you want to enter the solo competition, go to the Guitar Hour Facebook page, facebook.com/The Guitar Hour, and download Dave's backing track for our illustrious theme that he wrote. Really fantastic theme. So all over the middle 6 bars, they're in E minor. You don't need to play over any of the rest of it unless you absolutely desperately want to. The Gasturbation competition, you just need to send us in pictures of your rigs, post them on Facebook, or hashtag tag us in them, whatever, and we'll pick a winner for that as well. If you win the solo competition, obviously we've already said you're going to be featured at the end of next week's episode. Instead of us soloing over it, you're going to be soloing over it, and then you will be forever on my YouTube channel, which is kind of, I think that's quite cool. You might not, but I do.
I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, so other bits of news. Jonathan Kreisberg, we posted about this the other day. I posted about it. I think some of you guys did, and we did it on the Guitar Hour page. Jonathan Kreisberg is doing a masterclass in Brooklyn. The dates, I'll just find the dates for you guys because I can't remember them off the top of my head. Do you know what they are, BB?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head. Yeah.
Where did I actually? I don't actually know where I downloaded it. So if I can't find it quickly, check out the.
Steve Ozone, by the way, your banter partner Ryan is moving to university tomorrow, so he's saying goodbye to his family. So you're all alone with the jokes tonight.
Oh.
Is he not here?
Ryan can't make the stream live tonight.
Sorry guys, we have to stop the stream. Ryan's not here.
But
Unbelievable.
when he watches this, I hope the move went well for you, mate. And
Yeah.
you're going to settle into.
It'll be doubly funny next time.
Oh, it's a bit of love for the bronze cast from
Oh, there we
Alex
go.
Vidham. There
Yeah,
you
check
go.
out the Bronze Cast, guys. I can't find the picture, but if you go to jonathankreisberg.com, can someone type that in the chat maybe?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know how to spell it.
jonathankreisberg.com. check out on there, you'll find information about an amazing masterclass that goes on for quite a few days that Jonathan's doing in Brooklyn in August. It's in August, isn't it?
Yes.
Especially, I'm not sure if, you were massively inspired by him, so all
Yeah,
4
I
of us
was,
would love
yeah.
to go to it.
Oh,
We
no.
can't, unfortunately.
I would.
But get yourselves to that website. The link is there. It should be on YouTube and Twitch, and you can check that out. Just ridiculous. If you've seen the
It's not
interview
even that
with him,
expensive. It's like $500 or something. for the
yeah,
week.
it's not expensive at all.
It's
And
like
they're doing deals for
crazy.
accommodation as well.
So if you're in around sort of New Yorky sort of East Coast area, you just
Just go.
do it. And
Just go. Even if you're not into jazz, go. You'll learn amazing stuff.
Be a
Tell
doer.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I wanted to show you guys, so bear with me a second whilst I just get rid of, I'm just going to go to share my desktop with you. Right, let me get rid of that. Is that Mr. Alan Hines has a new album out called Fly South. I love the fact he's called it Genre World and World
Vinnie
Fusion.
Colaiuta,
That's
man.
pretty cool. So this album, you need to check this out, guys. It's absolutely amazing.
Vinnie Colaiuta.
That's some right players on there. Vinnie Colaiuta, Jimmy Johnson, Abe Laboriel.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, it says melodic rock, jazz, heartland, heartfelt compositions featuring the world's greatest players. It's very cheap to download on CD Baby, or obviously you can buy it from all the other places as well. Seriously cool, very good indeed. So let's go back to here. Okay, so that's pretty much all the news, unless you guys have got anything else you wanted to mention. We've already talked about Dan's new guitar. Oh, what have you?
What? Mine.
Are we allowed to say what you've ordered? No?
I
Or
can
we're
do.
saving it?
I'm busting to talk
We're
about
going
it.
to NAM.
Right, go on then.
That's the other thing.
Hmm?
Are we going to NAM?
We're all going to NAM, yeah.
Uh,
You're coming now.
I'm coming
He
now.
wasn't sure, but he's coming to NAM.
04. TGA goes international,
That's it.
Obviously, it's not for a long time, but we're all
Yeah.
off to NAM.
which is exciting. And the other exciting, I'm ordering one of these filthy things.
Oh.
So I'm
One of these
Wow.
filthy things. Pork scratchings.
I'm going to
So-
be the gooseberry of the guitar hour, aren't
So
I?
I'm joining Team Fibonare and getting an erotic. So I'm in the I finalised the
Fibonami.
specs. Fibonacci, yeah,
As
that's
Neil Jones
Neil
says.
Jones coin. Yeah, so very, very excited. I'm got the specs all nailed down now, and
So let's keep those a secret for now.
yes, I'm not giving them out yet. But
It's slightly nerve-wracking, isn't it, though? Because you
yeah,
think
it's
it's always going to be amazing, but you think, what if I get it wrong? You know, if
It's
you
a
order,
really weird
order a
feeling
Subway
at Christmas
sandwich and you get the wrong bread or something.
It's like, well, is the finish? I mean, I
It's,
really,
more
there's
serious
that much
than that.
consequence to it.
There is. That's serious business.
Dan's had some traumatic experiences at some point.
Yeah, I bet.
Getting some of those seeds stuck in his teeth.
That's right. Party
So-
Italian.
So, yes, BB's... Sorry.
Dan's reminiscing about his subways.
Dom, you want to come to NAM with us? NAM party, Chris Bedwood, absolutely, yeah, for sure. And I'll be hanging around. I'm going to be doing a clinic in New York afterwards as well. Probably doing a bit of teaching at MI.
So where we're all
Which
staying on,
needs
doing
sorting.
some actual Hollywood shit.
We're yeah, Hollywood.
Oh, are you not?
Yeah, I'm
Bronzy,
staying on. I'm
bronzy,
staying on.
bronzy.
I'm staying on.
All right, guys. What the hell are pork scratchings?
Oh, they are the they are
This
the
is-
gods, food of the gods.
This is pig skin. We're going to lose all our viewers now. Pig skin that's been what was it, fried, wasn't it?
Yeah,
don't
right.
think about
it's
it.
the
It's not-
crackling off pork, man. So you
No.
know when you do pork in, you know, it's
The
when
pork joint.
it's like when the skin goes all crispy.
The dog loves them.
You're having a bit of a pork phase at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a funny story about that. I brought Tony Martinez over. If you know Tony, amazing guitar player. Came over to stay with me for a bit in the UK. And he, what's that?
If you're lucky, you get a nipple.
I'm looking forward to that. A hairy nipple, preferably. Tony came over and we gave him pork scratchings and English kind of ale, pulled beer. And he thought they were both the most disgusting thing
Didn't
he'd
like
ever
the
tried.
beer?
Like, no, hated it.
It doesn't like ale.
No.
What does he drink?
Lager.
Dirty lagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Euro lager.
Euro lager.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very popular over here though. But anyway, enough about pork scratchings.
Oh, right.
Steve.
Oh, he's made it.
Simmons!
You should be enjoying your last night with your family. You said.
That sounds terrible, that does. Right, so obviously,
Good to see you anyway.
let's do a bit of playing. Let's move into Dan's challenge. No transition
Oh, yeah.
today because I've already done it, so Dan can't push us.
Have we mentioned the pole jam?
Oh no,
Oh,
good point. Go,
yeah,
on,
yeah.
go on, Dan.
Is that the correct address?
It is.
So pole jam, bottom of the
See if
screen.
you can point to
try
it.
and
Tramp. Classic.
down here. There's five. Is
Oh,
there
sorry,
five on
Sprout.
there?
I just
Five.
bashed her with my guitar.
5 tracks.
5 tracks to
Five
choose
tracks.
from.
Oh,
Put in your orders, and we'll see what we can do.
Put
at
in
the
your
end
orders.
We'll see what we do at the end of the.
A couple of repeats from last time, a couple of new ones as well. There's one
Yeah.
really cool one that we all want to play over, but we're not going to tell you what it is.
If you want to make the rock guys suffer, pick a jazz one.
There isn't a jazz one.
Oh.
You safe? Just for this week. Well, until later anyway.
If you want to make everyone suffer, and choose the country one.
Oh no,
Dan,
I think
keep your
you
mouth
could do free.
Okay.
Country one.
So, let's do Dan's challenge. What's your challenge for today, Dan?
We are finishing off the deck of cards from a couple of episodes ago.
Yes.
I'm actually slightly
Um,
worried about this one now because I was terrible at it last time, and it's like
So,
I've got a fear.
so I've taken pretty much all the ones we did last. Was it last season when we first did it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Was it?
The
Yeah.
first one was, yeah.
So, but I added like 10 new ones, so it's kind of some of the same names will come up, but there's 10 new cards in the whole deck. I think it's 10. I might be more than 10.
So we might have some repeats, not from last week.
Yeah,
Dan,
and
or-
I put all our names in there as well.
Oh.
Although I came out last time, so
I think I
if
got
you
my
get
own
your own
name last
name,
time.
yeah.
Not last time, but the time before. So for this, guys, we got this pretty straight. We need a straightforward groove for this. So you just got this B minor vibe. Let me just see how loud this is. I'm going to need to turn the microphone down. I'm trying to get it so the voices and the guitar are more balanced because I know we get a lot of complaints that we're quite quiet sometimes. So let me just get the volume right on this.
Whoa! I didn't see anything. Didn't see anything.
That is porno-tastic, isn't it? Right.
I've got a good disclaimer.
Yeah, he has got a very good
I
disclaimer.
went to open the door about 10 minutes ago, and I just twatted my elbow right off that. Oh, I can't feel my hand.
Do our American friends know what twatted means?
Oh gosh.
Thank you, MRN89.
I,
Yeah, let's just.
Sorry, I banged my elbow off at the edge of this, and I can't feel my hand.
Oh man. Okay, right. So
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. So we go that way?
Just wait for it to get started, obviously.
Yeah.
Alright guys, here we go.
Alright. It was David Beebe.
How do I do flute? Let me turn. Right, so.
Flute Mill.
That's a good flute tone.
Will I do?
I'll do, yeah.
Just roll the tone down.
Play a bit.
Play, actually, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, it's coming up. Oh, Jonathan Kreisberg.
Oh god.
Oh!
That's an evil one. Nicely done, Mr. Beebs.
Okay. String skipping.
Okay. That's Dave's forte.
Here he is. Oh.
This is a setup. Get playing. Up. Double stops. That's not fair.
Speed up. Fred Mason.
Oh, that's it.
It's not the track for it.
No, that's the wrong key. No, I can't do it there either.
Bet you wish you had an open B string now.
No. I can't do it. That's a ridiculously hard one for me.
Yeah.
You should bash your elbow more often.
Django Reinhardt.
I just keep playing like I normally play.
Yeah,
Two
that's
fingers.
exactly what I did with Brent Mason. The Smith.
There we go.
By Bronte.
To me, yeah.
Oh! Tom
it's a surrogate. Yeah.
Okay, Dave. Stop and go.
Oh yeah.
No, you have
Yeah.
to stop and go like this. I saw your t-shirt.
Okay, right. So Dan needs another go. So, whoa.
Try and rapid fire it quite quick.
Okay, ready? Richie Kotzen.
Oh shit! What else does he do?
Good. Are we doing more?
No.
Oh,
No. That's you.
one more round.
Yeah. Pitch harmonics.
Very good, Nikolai.
Harry Johnson.
Oh, woof. Good luck.
What did it mean? He has a bit of a flute metal. Flute
He
sound,
does
doesn't
very much,
Yeah.
very much. Very good.
Oh! The Joker. I'm going to have to pick someone.
Frank Gambale.
Gambale, done.
Dave.
Oh, the break as well.
Stop it. That'll do me.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Right. Smith. Eric Clapton.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Ah!
Nice. That was good.
Nice work. Nice work.
Nice.
Sorry. Yeah. I feel like I should apologise for my tongue quailing.
I thought it was pretty good actually. I thought it was pretty good. Right, so there we go, guys. Dance challenge. Do we know what we're doing next week? Or are we still figuring that out?
Oh, well, we were going to do one involving... Yes. Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Oh, I don't know about this, do I?
You do.
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah. Let's.
Am I just being an idiot?
Yeah.
Okay, right, guys. Let's go on to our main theme. So, here we go. Over to Mr. Bronze. What's our main theme, Bronze?
So our theme this week is called A Day in the Life, and I suppose it's kind of like a guy. Somebody
what?
interpret? Yeah.
Smash it.
So it's called A Day in the Life, and it's something to do with time management. And the topic idea comes from when I sort of quit my job about 3 years ago to do the music thing. One thing that puzzled me is how do you go, like, what do you focus on? So, you know, how much time should I spend practicing? How much time should I spend getting my website together, recording an album, networking, learning new stuff, you know, and figuring out how, because when you've got so much stuff, like for me, I didn't really know where to start. So I thought, what I really wanted to know at the time was, how do other people split up the day? What do they focus on? How do they manage all the different things they're supposed to do? Do they have a routine or whatever? So I thought it'd be cool if we all shared what we do each week, and just to be really candid about that. I mean, some people might be a bit
Not too candid, have
well, yeah, I get it. But so to say honestly what we do, you might think we're rock and roll stars or whatever, but actually we lead pretty normal lives. So thought that might be interesting.
Right, do you want to go first then, Dave?
Okay, so
Dave's going to put us all to shame, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So Mondays, I get up in the morning, and then I go for a.
What?
I think reading the chat when I'm trying to do this stuff.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm not going to look that way.
Right, just ignore
Don't
that.
look at the chat. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I get up and I go for a run. So I do exercise because I'm getting a bit old now. So I like to try and stay fit. And then Monday's sort of my composition day. So I spend most of the day doing composition stuff on a Monday, and then in the evening I teach guitar from about 5 till 9. Tuesday I do the really non-rock and roll thing of teaching in schools. So I teach.
I am listening.
I'm sorry. I am listening,
100%.
Dave. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mr. Ozone has just destroyed any form of
I've got a couple of
concentration.
questions about this already. But
Yeah, so
Yeah.
on Tuesday I just teach all day at school, and then I teach all night at
All
home.
night?
Well, till 9 at night.
have you purposefully timetabled that in a way that it's
Yeah. Wednesday is my main day where I can try and get everything done. So that'll be day for composition again, and then evening I usually do rehearse. Thursday, teach at school in the mornings. I teach drums, believe it or not. So it's not all super glamorous. And then on Thursday afternoons, I do all my social media stuff. So that's when I prep my podcast, the Bronzecast. That's when I catch up on all my emails, hustle for new work, that kind of stuff.
general admin day.
General admin day, because I got school in the morning, half a day doing admin stuff.
Dadmin.
Dadmin.
That's why we love Dan.
That's incredible.
Thursday night I'm on the guitar hour, and then Friday's kind of a mix really of trying to hustle for. It's like my kind of blue sky thinking day. So I go for a run in the morning, and then try and just create a bit of space. So that'll be where I just literally read some stuff in the morning, listen to podcasts, do a bit of practicing. So really proper practicing at the moment. I only really do it on a Friday.
All right.
Sometimes I practice a bit in the morning. I have a 10-15 minute routine that I hammer away at, but I'm not doing too good on that at the moment. And then at the weekends, I don't do any music at all. I shut down and just do family stuff, unless I've got gigs or whatever. Generally, weekends I block it all out, and so that way, I mean, you've already heard the timetable for me, because I get asked a lot about what to do being a dad with kids and stuff like that. So I do the school run. When the kids get home from school, sort of 5 till 7, like every day as much as I can, then that's their time. But pretty much during the week, I work 12-hour days every day. So at the weekend, I don't do anything. So that's me.
Okay, great. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
So I'm at a bit of a crossroads really. As of, well, at the moment what I'm doing is I'm teaching in schools Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then gigging Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Doing the guitar hour Thursday night. I go to the gym Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So I've got Monday.
Monday for gaming.
Monday. Well, this is the thing. Is like, I don't know if you suffer from this, but with things like practice and kind of motivation for that kind of thing, when you're working so much in a sort of music-related field,
Yeah.
it's kind of it kind of throws you as in like I'm already doing stuff musical and getting paid, so you know, not necessarily it isn't this, but you can kind of get lazy and think, oh well, I'm already working, what's the point? But I've just dropped. I mean, it won't come into effect until summer, but I've dropped Tuesday and Wednesdays. I may pick up another day if it's a different school, like a high school or something. But at the minute, I'm going to try and do more grown-up work. So,
What do you mean? You can say it.
okay, yeah. So I've just had my first Lick Library DVD out. There should be another one coming out soon. I need to check that up actually. I don't know what's going on with that. Which will be the 51 Western Swing Licks, which I'm very proud of that one actually. Like I kind of blacked out towards filming the end of the rhythm one.
Man, I wish we could show you the play. I don't think we have shown them the playthrough, have we?
No,
I wish we
don't
could show
think
it
so.
to you. It's amazing. It was shot in here against that black screen. It's absolutely ridiculous. So much fun.
So yeah, so I'm planning on doing some more Lit Library stuff. Planning on potentially building a website in the future and just trying to kind of just do a few more things that I haven't had time to do because of the work. So I'm essentially taking a pay cut to do some other things, but with the gigs and the one day in the high school, I should be pretty much all right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it really.
Yeah. For me, it's changed a lot recently. I guess for about 10 years I did 36 plus hours of teaching.
Oh my god!
Guitar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would do like 2 very long days, 10 to 12 hours of back-to-back teaching, and then I would do one shorter day of 6 or 7 hours, and then I'd do 9 hours on a Sunday.
Great.
Man,
So I'd have like Sunday to Wednesday would be just horrendous.
how did you want to pick the guitar up after that?
Yeah.
When
it's-
did you pick the guitar up?
Well, my idea was that I would do it on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but then I'd be so knackered, and so it's very, very hard. But yeah, recently I've sort of been teaching a bit less and trying to involve myself with more. Yeah, it's a different kind of musical pursuits, and
It's a similar
trying
kind of
to,
thing. I think
trying
we're
to
both
vary
kind
it
of
a little bit.
holding hands down the same
we are,
crossroads.
aren't we?
For the minute.
So these days now, I'm still kind of teaching the same days. I'm just doing less of it, which is kind of nice. I'm gigging it quite a bit more. So I do a few hours on a Sunday privately, a few hours in primary school and a high school on a Monday. Same again Tuesday and Wednesday, but again far less, not the crazy long days. And then Thursday, I try to keep Thursday in as the day for sort of either jamming with other people and then the guitar hour. Friday for practice for myself, I guess. I always try and practice every day, some amount.
Yeah, you're pretty disciplined practice.
Yeah, at the moment,
You make me feel guilty about
the last year I've been on a really, maybe even two years. I'm just loving practicing guitar. I'm just really getting obsessed with it.
Yeah, one thing that's really nice is when you see, because practice can be quite a. Someone asked about practice anyway today.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, but sometimes practice can be a little bit unrewarding in many ways, because when
It's
you're
like a real
doing it, you
chore.
don't see necessarily as much progress. But
Well-
with you, I said this to you
Right.
last week and the week before, I can see massive improvements in your
thank
jazz
you.
playing and changes playing in particular. And it's you can what I'm saying is you can see with BB, if you put the work in, the end result comes
Yeah.
out.
Well, I think I think the key thing, and we've banged on about this many times, but I actually just love the process of practicing. I'm not trying to get to the end goal. Every time I just open the real book or just start jamming or whatever, I'm enjoying that process of discovering and exploration. And I think just because that is a very natural, genuine love of doing that, maybe that's why I'm starting to see some
So
rewards.
getting better is just almost a
Just a
side
effect
effect.
of
It's like,
enjoying, actually just falling in love with the guitar neck. So yeah, and then I'll sometimes on Fridays I'll do like learning tunes for the gigs, for the function gigs and whatnot. Saturdays is mostly every Saturday's gigging, and then back to the start over again on Sunday.
Yeah, so for me, the teaching thing, I really view it as saving up to do what I really do. So obviously the teaching
Right.
does pay the bulk of the bills, but at the moment I'm only really teaching 2 days a week, and I'm writing music 3 days a week. So I'm super lucky. But I do view myself as a composer, not as a guitar teacher. Even, and obviously the music is paying. When the album came out, I paid my mortgage for almost 3 months, which is amazing. But I think it helped me having the mindset of this isn't a dead end thing. The guitar teaching is like the saving to do the thing I really want to do. And for me, I don't know, I hope you guys find that helpful. For me, that really helps me in terms of not feeling so trapped by it,
Just to answer Nick, he asked, would I be practicing more if I was writing for my own project? Well, I guess kind of the Lit Library stuff at the minute is I've got a couple of briefs that I've come up with, and it's like, right, I've got something to work for, I've got a seed. So it's like, right, I'm going to... And it's not... The practice thing now for me is more like harmony stuff and fretboard knowledge. It's not like... most stuff technically, because I don't really do anything like too flash. But technically, I can kind of do most.
It's pretty flash to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know any like tapping or any that that kind of stuff. But I can kind of do most things that I'm trying to do. Whereas if I wrote something that I couldn't play, then it'd be like, all right, I'd work on that specific. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That specific thing. I think you did something like that recently with the drop 2 thing,
which I haven't actually practiced for a while, but okay.
the other thing, sorry, I meant to say with saying about practice and stuff, and you said that noticing people get better. Is I think it's good to have regular contact with your guitar playing mates, because you could be at home practicing loads.
Yeah.
You could be not seeing another guitar player for a year, thinking you're not getting any better, but like. We're always sort of giving each other compliments on stuff.
Well,
man, you've really got that down.
That's been fantastic in the last little while with you guys, and sort of making friends with people, even with people online as well. Those relationships, it's been very rewarding in that sense to get feedback and to chat to other people in the same position as me, and that's really helpful. I think the other thing as well, like with what Dan's doing, I think trying to adjust my times, like it's not like I'm just practicing guitar and I've stopped teaching to do that. I do actually really enjoy the teaching. I think what had got me to such a bad place was I was doing such crazy levels of it and nothing else creatively or artistically. And I think so. Yeah, I'm learning new skills in like video editing and filming, and I'm trying to now thinking about doing the online teaching thing and sort of tutorials and stuff like that. And so in the same way as sort of Dan is with those kind of ideas for the website and things. So yeah, hopefully I'm spending also those sort of free moments of time on sort of Thursdays and Fridays trying to put that into motion as well.
I think the overview is it's quite realistic, isn't it? It's not like, right, going to pack that job in, walk into the sunset with a guitar on my back. You've got to. For me, I think that's the balance,
because I think so. I'm a massive respect to people that do that. I think I wouldn't be able to. Maybe it'd be different if I was doing like a totally different job that wasn't music, but because I was always sort of tangentially doing music as a guitar teacher, full-time guitar teacher, I guess, part-time gigger, it's kind of hard to sort of draw that line and just turn my back and say I'm going to quit all the schools or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Because I've still got to pay for things and I've still got to
contribute,
and I've got to if I want nice new guitars or to go to NAMM or whatever, I've still got to be able to fund that stuff. And
there's also a kind of self-confidence, and like Oprah always says, you've got to love yourself before anyone else will love you. Not quite in that voice though, but you've got to love yourself before anybody else will love you. But it's that thing of if earning money is actually good for your well-being, and so I don't mean like materialistically earning loads of money, but if you can't contribute to your household,
just that thing of being able to pay your own way. Like for instance, if I go out for a drink and I've not been to the cash machine and I've got no money in my pocket, I feel awful.
Yeah.
I have got the money, but if you've not got something on you at that time, you just feel a bit weird, like you can't look after yourself, kind of thing. It's kind of a bit of a sense of worth of like, right, I've done this, I've earned some money, I can pay my way, I can do what I need to do. It's not about
What does that mean, Dave? The Mortal Newts, have a look on davebrosson.com.
It's just because I can't touch type whilst the thing. It's just somebody who's asking about if I had recommendations for expanding pupil base, and I've done a blog on it on my website all about
Got you.
building a student base. So rather than answer it here, you might as well go there.
So what about you then? What's a week in the life of Tom Quayle like?
It's never...
It's all legato. He gets up in
legato all the time.
He's just non-stop.
He's eating soup, he's legatoing.
I don't eat soup, I eat the leg of a pig.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, damn it. So yeah, my week is...
Off.
I guess I should start by saying... Someone asked about the dog, actually. This is a spaniel, and most of my day is spent feeding this dog. You can see every time I go near the... Watch this. She will watch these around the room. She's obsessed with pork scratching. And I've already given her 3, so I'm not going to give her any more. But yeah, my week changes. I'm not like Dave, for instance. I don't have a set schedule, although I will have to from September when my daughter's born, because obviously I'm going to need to work around her schedule and what's happening with her. So it's going to be a new experience for me. But I'm quite lucky in a way. This is not related to you guys. I'm not saying I'm luckier than you guys. I'm just saying in general I'm quite lucky because I have an autonomous income, which means that basically I don't have to work to earn money because of the nature of the business that I've set up in terms of selling lessons online. So that generates income. But I put a lesson out and it continually generates income. So that means that I'm quite free, not all the time, but some of the time to play and practice, and I do get a significant amount of time to play guitar. So generally I have a guitar in my hands for sort of 6 to 7 hours a day, which is quite unusual. And I don't teach very much anymore. I've got like one Skype student, I think, and I don't offer Skype lessons or anything. I don't teach at any institutions, although I probably would like to do that because I do enjoy it. What I do is I do a lot of work for Lick Library, and now I'm doing other things for Lick Library as well, to do with consulting and finding new tutors, and I'm going to be doing some filming here as well, setting up a proper video studio for doing some filming up in the north. And I do a lot of work for Guitar Interactive magazine, so I'm writing reviews, I'm doing product demos a lot I've started doing product demos for various different places, so lots of video editing. So the actual work I do varies from week to week. I certainly can't say that I have a specific thing that I have to do. So like this week, for instance, I've been recording for the Elba Triangle album, and I've spent 14 hours over the past 2 days recording.
It
sounds good.
chuffing awesome.
So, for instance, in that setup, recording for the Elba Triangle, because it's a high-end fusion album, as in what I mean by high-end is it's been funded by a record label and we've signed a record contract, everything has to be recorded to a very high level. So it takes a lot of time to put that together and to do different takes, and everything has to be pretty much perfect. And if any of you have done any kind of recording before, you'll know that can be very, very difficult. To get things, but yeah, really difficult. I mean, my hands are tired and I'm mentally tired today, so apologies, I'm not quite switched on. So that might be one thing I do, and then for instance I'm going down to Lick Library on Monday and Tuesday next week, and I'm shooting a load of stuff for Lick Library, for the magazine, and also some other reviews. I'll then come home, I don't have to edit those, but I have to write the reviews, and then have them checked and approved. You know, I might get somebody round and do some filming. I'll do a lot of practice. I also, you know, I'll be honest, I do quite a bit of gaming as well, and I think those kind of things are important. I usually try to be finished and not work, and I mean practicing, after 5 p.m.
So you always give yourself office hours?
I try to, yeah, although I don't necessarily start at 9 on the dot.
Yeah.
Like today, I was recording today, I was doing I've done an arrangement of Spain for the Elba Triangle, and I was recording some heavy guitars. I did the clean guitars yesterday, I was recording the heavy guitars. I think I started about 10:30. I don't necessarily give myself like I must start at 9. I just go with the flow of what's going on. I was very tired, so I woke up at 9 o'clock, got up at 9:30 maybe, which will probably appall some of you. But you know, you can do that when you work for yourself and you've got an autonomous income. You can do those kind of things, but you know, I still make sure I don't sit and do nothing all day. I try not to just sit on Facebook and YouTube. That's some, you know, if you have an autonomous income, I know people who do have autonomous incomes that find it very difficult to actually motivate themselves. So you've got to try and stay working as much as possible.
Do you, I mean, this applies to everyone here, but as a self-employed musician, do any of you guys find that you can't quite ever switch off? like you're always on, because it's like, right, well, I'm self-employed, so I constantly need to be thinking about the next thing, or working on the next thing, or finishing something that you've already started, or coming up with something new. It just never ends. Like, you know.
Good example is like I'm supposed to be sort of having the weekend off. It's the one Saturday of the year that I'm not gigging, and then someone called me and I'm now gigging. So I'm now in Lancashire.
So is this a gig with a band you've played with before?
Yeah, it's the same band, but it's just coming last minute. It was supposed to be off, and then I was going to go and see my parents.
Cheryl says this to me all the time. My partner Cheryl, I can't say no to anything. Well, if I get asked to do something, I can't say no.
To give you an example, build at work though, really, you know.
Yeah. So to give you an example, like we booked flights to LA 2 days ago.
Yeah,
about
2
9 p.m.
days ago.
And then I got a message from the guys at Fibonacci saying, "Can you do a workshop or a clinic in New York on the whatever it was, the 29th of January?" And I'd already booked my flights home, so I can't say no. You know, they're already sorted. I'm having a child, but I can't say no. So I said, right, I'll cancel my flights, and I rebooked them. And it's one thing you learn pretty quickly is that saying yes to things within reason is generally the way to go. So long as you can work around the other things in your life, saying yes to things. Because if you say yes once to something, and you do a good job of it, you will get hired again. If you say no, thinking, well, I'll say no this time and I'll say yes the next time. There probably won't be a next time because there'll be somebody else who can do it.
I very was this far away from phoning up and cancelling my cruise ship audition because I got so sort of tweaked out about it. Yeah, I was like, oh, they sent me the music and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to read this on the camera. I can't play over this. This is going to be terrible.
That was via Skype, was it?
No, it was you had to. It was a bit of a weird one. You had to be on the phone to them, but you were filming it at the same time and then just send them the tape. So they're on the phone, so they know it's happening, but you're filming it and then you have to upload it to a thing. But if I hadn't have done that,
Have they not heard of Skype?
well, I mean, I think it was just because of the audio quality and stuff. I don't know. But if I hadn't have done that, that's 3 years of work I wouldn't have done, like skills that wouldn't have, just loads and loads of experience that I wouldn't have had.
I slightly disagree with saying yes to everything, actually. I think early in your career you say yes to everything, but I'll say yes to things that line up with certain values, because I found that you can say yes to things that are good and then it starts to make you miserable. So I try and focus on only saying yes to things that I think are great, and I think then focusing in. So in terms of my goals, is this going to help me put more music out? Is it going to get me to meet certain people, so because otherwise...
How long did it take you to get to the point where you could kind of pick and choose?
Well, in some ways I'm not really at the stage I can pick and choose, but I have the luxury of having these 3 days to put my music out. That's my sole focus. I'm not looking to make $1 million or anything. I get asked all the time to play certain gigs or whatever, or to do this and that, record this and that, and quite often I'm just like, I could, but if it stops me from doing my main thing, then I don't
of course.
do it.
I mean, I get asked to record a lot of solos. Not a lot. A reasonable number of solos, and I generally don't say yes. For two reasons. First of all, I don't really enjoy the process of recording solos on someone else's stuff. And secondly, it doesn't pay very well. And therefore, what I find with it is the amount of time you put into it doesn't equal the money that you get out at the end of it. And when you're doing it that way, if it's your own stuff, that's fine, because you value the end product far more than the time that you put into it. Whereas if you're doing it for somebody else, it's got to be a rate that equals the amount of work that you put into it.
I mean, genuinely, that's why I had this big dilemma about going to NAMM, because I was kind of thinking, look, that money is money that I could be spending on a family holiday.
Absolutely.
That's why I was asking you guys a question, is it actually going to further my career? And in the end, I just thought, right, the way I'm viewing this is that it's an experience I want to have.
Yeah,
and that's it. I want to have
holiday.
It's a last holiday, but but that's a luxury.
I know
when you're a married guy.
I know what you're saying.
But I was like, So it's not really viewing it as an investment, so that's why I had this struggle, and that's because of that process that I have in terms of trying to line things up in my timetable, in terms of what is it trying to achieve, And I think when there's money involved, it's the same with gear. Like, now I'm a professional, I don't go out and buy every bit of gear I see, because I've got to think, if I buy this gear, am I going to earn more money with it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Than it's cost me to get it. If the answer is you're not going to earn more money than that gear's cost you using that piece of gear, then I don't get it, no matter how much I want it.
So the perfect example for me is the Adobe Suite.
Yeah.
Now the Adobe Suite, I think if you get the whole thing, is about £60 a month. Easily justifiable for me because I use it for everything I do and it generates more than enough income. But if I looked at that and I went, oh, I'd really like that, or say for instance Omnisphere or whatever.
Yeah.
Omnisphere 2 came out recently and I look at it and I go, I'd love that, but why on earth would I buy it? Because I'm not going to...
It's the same for me with string packages. It's like they're £500-600 a pop. I'd love every orchestral sample.
Did you think you made a guitar
No,
string?
guitar strings, I never change them.
They're useless.
They're kind of important.
With orchestral stuff, even though I use it for my job, I could just spend literally $4 or $5 grand on that stuff. I could make an album for that. I just can't justify it.
Yeah, I bought a load of drum samples years ago, like probably 400 and 500 quid's worth, and I don't think I've ever used them to their proper extent. It was just for fun, and there is a point in your life where, like, I didn't have any kids. I still don't. Well, I kind of do. I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter, so I do have responsibilities. And if I go out and do that, like, it's affordable, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know quite why we're on this now.
Well, somebody asked about weekly goals, so perhaps we could close out with that. Weekly goals. I have a big whiteboard, and every week I put up my stuff that I need to remember to do, so my short-term stuff, and then I have the big long-term goals at the top.
Now, I took Dave's advice on that and bought a whiteboard, didn't I? and now I've covered it up with a giant black screen. So that tells you about my goals. Yeah, my goals vary. Again, they vary depending on what's going on during the week. If I don't have a deadline for things, I find it very difficult to set goals. But like this week, I gave myself the deadline of I had to have recorded all the rhythm and lead guitars for the 2 tracks of the Elba Triangle, which I arranged. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to reach that goal because other things have come up. So, for instance, tomorrow, like today, I've been filling walls for decorating. Tomorrow, I'm decorating the nursery tomorrow. So, that's going to take up the majority of my day. So that takes out a day. Yeah, that takes out a day of recording. And by that point, you know, it's going to be Friday tomorrow. Saturday, I know I've got to learn how to use. God, I've got to be careful with this. I don't want to bash my guitar.
Ooh.
I've got to learn how to use this bad boy. Now, again, you guys might think, oh man, yeah, great. And it is great, except I've got to do a review of this, so I have to really, really know about it. So that whole day will be spent figuring out how to use this. And then on Sunday, I'll be driving down to London so that I can film a Lick Library on Monday and Tuesday. And I have to film about 15 products. So it's a lot of stuff. So my goals get shifted. I can't have specific set goals. They get shifted by you know, whatever else is coming up. And I can have a phone call, and then the next day I have to go and do something. You know, that kind of thing. So it varies. It's very. I don't want to be like someone like Dave. You should listen to his advice because Dave's very good at setting goals and being very specific about the things he does every week. Someone like me, what I'm saying is you don't have to be like one of us. You don't have to. You'll find a way of doing things yourself.
We're all really different.
You're better off
We're all
not being
really
like me.
Do not want to be like me.
So for instance, I don't set specific goals every single time. Dom, you'll review the AX8. I have no worries about reviewing the AX8. It's going to be a fully pleasurable experience. But I just have to really, really know it inside out. So it takes, you know, some time to get together with that. Because you've got to take those things seriously. So yeah, you don't have to set goals if you're not that kind of guy. Don't force yourself to do it, because if it's not for you, you'll just disappoint yourself.
Probably more realistic to not have. I don't say not have goals, but to not go right. I'm going to do this, and this week, because I think, as we've all pretty much explained, maybe not a day in life, a week in life it's different every week.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Wayne just reminded me of something that somebody said. A wise guy said to me, a really successful businessman said, if you just try and do one little thing every day that gets you close to your goal, and even if all you have time to do is send one email or do 10 minutes practice or do one social media post, just do one thing.
Or kill one
each
boss
day.
on Dark Souls 3.
Or one boss on Dark Souls 3, yeah. Do one thing each day that gets you close to the goal. I think that takes the pressure off yourself as well.
I mean, I did this the other day and got a few little admin things done and a bit of practice and this and that. And you do feel better for having done something at the end of the day, rather than just kind of lethargic, or, you know, I'll get around to it kind of thing.
I do all the stuff I enjoy in the morning and do all the stuff I hate in the afternoon. That's my other top tip. All my
I like
admin.
that. I like that. That's a good
Alright.
tip.
Yeah, I literally,
Pleasure
because
before
I
the
think
sale.
I've got
That's like
really,
eating your meat before your potatoes.
yeah. Just because I'm more creative. If I've done my admin first, I'm so worn down I can't be bothered.
Right, we'll have to make that
Yeah,
last point
crack
because
on.
we're
Let's get on.
getting on.
That was good though. Good chat, boys.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Nice. All right, guys, we're going to move on to our hands-on section. And I think I'm probably pressing that button too quick and cutting things off. Sorry, guys, I'll try and get better at that. So, what are we playing, BB?
We're going to do Spain.
Do you want some chord changes for this? Or are you all
I
right?
shouldn't, but can you stick it up?
I can't, but you've got your iPad up.
Oh.
That's it, I can't stick it
Code
up.
changes. Can you stick it up?
Well, you
Right,
can.
the reason I was asking, because I was thinking about it earlier, thinking, do I
It's-
actually have a chart for this that's readily available?
I
The
will.
answer
I
is
do
no.
know. I do know this, but I will.
There's no shame,
If
BB.
I look at it, I will play better. I'm sure.
I will help.
So, BB's going to tell you about this backing track that we got, because it's BB's backing. It was not.
It's not. I didn't make
He
it.
provided it, but he didn't make it.
Yeah. So it's. I don't remember all the players, but it's Chick Corea's actual band. So I know Pastor is on bass, and it's from the songbook, the Hal Leonard's Chick Corea songbook. So yeah, it's Spain by Chick Corea, and we're going to play and play it. Sort of play the head, I guess. And
Yeah,
then,
we'll all try and play the head
And
together.
then we'll jam.
I don't know that.
Dan's not going to try and play the head with us.
I mean, yeah.
MRN89, we need to make you a moderator. You're fantastic. You keep posting the poll jam.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case you're not on Twitch, because MRN89, thank you very much, is on Twitch here. There's the poll jam. Go to that website. Don't know if someone on YouTube wants to post that. What was that noise?
Ooh, where did I go?
Are you off?
I was, yeah. Back now.
It's probably a. Oh, it's nothing to do with. We'll figure that out. All right, guys. Let me just see how loud this is, because we always have. I've got to turn the mic down as well. So just let me sort this out. Oh.
1 2 1 2.
All right. Baby, just give us some notes. By the way, after the stream, we're all going to try and learn how to do that. So that's what that's our goal after the stream. Bronzy, give us some notes. Dan? Dave? Alright, guys. Okay. Are we ready?
What's it? Let's move across a bit so I don't bang.
There's loads of solos on this, guys, so just play as many as you want and we can do a bit of trading or whatever.
No disclaimer this week then.
Except for
We've given them all. We've given them all. He
time,
bashed
so-
his elbow. I'm knackered. What's your disclaimer?
I ate too much meat last night.
I don't know you.
Dave,
I don't
you?
know.
That's a good disclaimer.
I've just about know the changes, so.
Alright, here we go. I'll just wait for Baby to be ready. Ready?
Yeah. Stiff shot for
1 2 1 2.
Hang on a second, let me start it again. There we go. Whoops, don't know what happened there. Ah, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Correa, for your wonderful tune.
Sorry, I murdered it.
That's great. Very good. Very
No,
nice.
Your little bit of swearing there was just really funny.
Alright. Kind of bend it a bit.
No,
You
no.
binned it. No, you
Bend it.
didn't. It was awesome. All right, guys. So let's do dictionary corner before we do the.
Oh yeah, I
poll
forgot
jam.
about that.
Damn. Hopefully, I've kept the microphone on for dictionary corner. Let's see what happens. Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
No, it's the old one.
Oh no!
Oh.
Don't look!
Oh, I've destroyed it. Right.
Don't
hold on.
look.
Hold on, guys. Bear with us a second. Say something funny down while the guys are waiting. No
What? It
pressure.
doesn't work like that.
So,
Oh, I'll tell
what
you.
is?
Oh, that's
There it is.
No, no,
there it is.
no.
There it is. There it is. Look, it's on.
Oh, there we go.
okay.
Okay, go.
Go
Well
for it,
done.
Dan.
We didn't look at that. Seamless.
God, I'm so lame.
So, yeah, Pedalomonium. It sounds better than it looks written down. Like
It looks great, I
Like
love that.
Pandemonium, Pedalomonium. So, the
It's not a pun this time.
Well, no.
Dan's
it's
bolted two words
Yeah,
together.
exactly. The sheer panic of having to switch 10 pedals in a single beat of music. So, say there's a solo coming up, and it's like, right. Blah, 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 blah.
This is you and I, isn't it? Because we're both like large boards with lots of pedals and no switcher. So
Yeah, you're doing it all wrong. What you want?
And
what
it's
you want.
usually,
I don't know.
it's usually something
Game
like
or
the
game.
drive pedal you miss off. So then you end up trying to solo and you're just kind of like. You know what I mean?
What you want? Is that going to work? It's not going to work. Rubbish. I was going to show you my pedal board with the webcam, but it's not working. So sorry, guys.
That's what you get for trying
Yeah.
to show off.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so pedalomonium. Did you read the
Pedalomonium.
definition out?
Yes.
You did. Okay, cool.
Also known as tap dancing.
Also known as tap dancing. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Right. Is it time for the pole jam?
it's time for pole jam.
Pole jam sounds like a Pearl Jam cover.
Pole Jam's like someone's like on time. What's going on?
Yeah, because we just,
Oh,
we're
I
pros
felt
now.
like
We're pros at this now.
Yeah. All right.
So what have you voted for, guys? Reggae,
Reggae.
minor blues.
Oh!
Interesting.
Wasn't expecting that.
I'm not about that.
That's fine with us. I'm going to have to go over to the computerator. Is that me making noise?
Oh, Dan, this is so good on it.
Oh, this is... Yes, it's the man, the legend that is Quist Jam. Quist. Actually, if you don't know already, like, you guys have probably played, like... can we type Quist Jam in? A lot of the guys will probably know him already.
Yeah.
If you don't know already, Quist is not just... Doesn't just make great backing tracks. He's an absolute killer player. Check
yeah.
out his him playing over giant steps. It's ridiculous. He's
Yeah,
amazing. He's a legend. Yeah, we've got this G minor. Is it actually? Yeah, it's supposed to be a blues. So for those who are interested, the chords are probably going to be, I hope, G minor, C minor, and then I'm not sure what he's going to do. Usually people do either D minor or it might be a D7 of some description.
So I'm gonna do like
Don't know. We'll find out. Whoever
Could be
takes the
E
first
flat,
one is going to
D7.
find
Find
out. Right.
a. I'll tell you that. It's not.
You want to go first? We'll go this way this
Yeah.
time? Sure, yeah.
It's alright.
No, this way. Is that alright? You've got plenty of time to play, guys, because this is quite long, so... We'll see how we get on. Right, we'll listen to Quist play first.
It's flat 6/5.
Yeah. Is it?
B flat 7.
Is it?
No. We're just listening to. I thought we'd play a bit of Quist first.
Oh, yeah. That is awesome.
He's amazing.
What's the darkness big one down? Use the delay pedal if you want to delay and just play one note. Play the softer after it.
Go on, Quist.
I'll try that.
This is my favourite kind of minor blues, guys, with this flat 6/5 turnaround. Is he going to take up the whole backing track?
Usually say it's where 120
It's
is
good. Someone's volume's up.
Oh, I am.
Oh, is it maybe just RF noise? Sorry, Quist, you are amazing, but we would like to have a go now. Right, Mr. BB. When you are ready.
Yeah.
Second line up.
Slash up the sheriff. Khabibs.
Are we trading?
Should we trade? What have we got?
You can take one each and then we'll trade off.
Okay.
It's a long track. Yeah, I've got plenty of time.
It's all about half 15 minutes.
I'll do one and then trade.
Bringing out the toys.
What toys have we got? So we'll trade after this. This way. Okay, trading. Nice.
There
Nice.
you
Okay, good stuff.
Reggae.
So,
That's the first reggae one we've done, I think, isn't it?
yeah, that was awesome. That was by an overwhelming majority as well.
Yeah.
go.
We like overwhelming majorities.
Thomas.
Right, Q&A. Okay,
So,
thanks for your choice, guys. That was great.
slower this one.
Whoa, that's a big question.
We can cut some of it out.
You can read it, it's fine.
Paraphrase it. So, Mike, I think he's watching. Was it college?
Somebody's making noise.
It's me, sorry. I think I saw him in the chat. Mike Nisbet, how you doing, man? So he says, guys, love the show, have a question. 4 Yorkshire Shredders meet each week to drink ales and record almost 20 hours talking about guitar playing. Not once do they mention Alan Holsworth. Are you having some sort of bet?
No,
Have we
love
not mentioned
Holsworth.
Holsworth?
No.
We like Holsworth?
Yeah, we love Holsworth.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one.
I saw him in Manchester. He fell over at the end of the gig.
Oh, no
He
way.
was walking off stage at the end of the gig. I don't know if he caught his foot on something, but he was just
No
kind of walking
way.
and then
Oh, man.
flat out.
That's bad news. Bad
times.
form.
Great
saw
gig
him,
though, great gig.
I saw him in Leeds and it was jaw-dropping.
So the second part of this, actually, where we hopefully get some interesting stories, is that Mike asks, like, was it him that made me feel bad about taking the Gem to the jazz course? I'm pretty sure it wasn't, actually, unless it was you as well. But don't feel bad about it. He says, the cruel irony is that I used to play in a big band with the Music Man Axis, which has to be the least suitable guitar for that type of gig. Can any of you share any other wrong tool for the job stories that you might have? Have you ever had anything ridiculously wrong for the job?
I make a career out of it.
Well, I turned up to, I mean, it's not necessarily a run to for a job, but when I did cruise ships, it's kind of you turn up and you need to have something that's kind of going to do everything. And at the time, I just had a strap, which kind of does everything, but if you want that kind of fat kind of jazz thing, it's a little tough. But I mean, I ended up spending loads of money on that. It's got like a P90 in the neck now and like a super distortion in the bridge.
Wow.
But like, it's like there's the switches on it. You can have it like 11 different ways, but yeah, I mean, it took a while to get there, but that was kind of that for a while.
I've seen other people like turn up with gear, the wrong gear for the wrong gig, and make it sound amazing. There were a few gospel musicians who turn up with like a Squire bass and a practice amp, and it's like the best thing you've ever heard. So I don't think it always follows really.
No, unless you know who this is, this won't make any sense to you, but I once saw Wayne Grant do a gig at the 55 Bar in New York with a white Les Paul.
Right.
Wow.
Rock
Which is,
and roll.
and he sounded exactly the same. Exactly the same, so. I can't think of a specific situation for me, to be honest.
I've answered the next one off thing, so I don't need to do that.
Cool.
What?
Dan's already done it. In
All right.
messaging.
All right, Christopher Capuano. Sorry if I've murdered your name. You've been in the chat loads. Thank you so much for chatting away. How do you avoid being too repetitive when soloing for a couple of minutes? You just have to concentrate. And actually, one thing you can do is think of different shapes on the guitar and use those shapes. So if, for instance, like the backing track we just did, if I was to play with this shape, can you play me a G minor chord? It's just a shape, don't worry about what notes it is. Okay, the 9 sounds a bit strange in that context because you're hearing it against the 3rd of the chord. But if I take that shape... Sorry. And sequence that shape. You don't have to sequence it like that. But you could move it around and play with that shape. Then you might pick a different one. So if we do another one, give us a little groove. So I might do this shape. When I get bored of that, I might play something else. I might go. Or you can do like I was doing, Dan did some as well, little chromatic ideas, like give us that groove again. Or rhythmic ideas, like I did this. Then I might play with pinched harmonics. you for joining the stream. Yeah, you could. Man, there's so many things. Just think of an idea and play with it.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be potentially doing something like talking about these things in the future.
You are.
Well, we won't go into too much of it now, but I think it's just that thing of having some kind of plan. Not necessarily plan, but doing an idea and trying to musically follow it up rather than just kind of, noodling.
Charles written massive ham.
There's nothing wrong with noodling, by the way. It's just
By the face.
trying to go into it. If you're improvising, try and react to what it is that you're doing yourself. It's too easy to just go, well, I know the scale in this position,
Yeah.
and then I know it in this position, and then try and find something musical.
Yeah.
And move it around. You don't have to do it all the time because after a while it does get a bit predictive and boring. But that's an advantage because if you're noodling and then you do something that gets people's attention, you can kind of take them and then what I like to do is put it in a direction that you think it's going to go and then change it at the last minute.
Yeah.
So you think, oh, I know what it's going to play next because I've heard that before, and then you don't do that.
The other thing is, don't just play constantly. Allow yourself, unless you've got lots of ideas, just give me that groove one more time. I'm going to stop after a little bit and think of a new idea. So my first idea I've just come up with is bending into notes. Okay, then I might stop and I might think that was horribly out of tune, by the way. I might think maybe I'm going to imply some other harmony. So I might go. Then I might stop again and I might think, okay, now I'm going to play triad pairs. Now I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to do some legato stuff. You get the idea. So you allow yourself breathing space in between each phrase. So anyway, I've taken too long on that question. Okay, so next question. Thank you very much for that question, Christopher. Fabian Retzak, our good friend. Here might be a question, How to practice in odd time signatures or including them in 4/4 using hemiolas to create some interesting rhythm effects. Looking forward to see the show tomorrow, just after band rehearsals. Odd time signatures, don't ask me, I don't play in odd time signatures very often at all. He does.
Ron's kind of.
Sorry, I missed the question, so I'm trying to type with our French
Just
guy in
asking-
the chat called Mathieu.
Alright, you keep doing that, I'll answer the second bit then. Ed had sex with his girlfriend. Ed really had sex with his girlfriend. So hemiolas is where you play an odd time signature over, you play one time signature over another, so you might play 3/8 or 5/8 for instance over 4/4. Wayne Krantz does this all the time.
The end of answers as that, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Yes, so that it is absolutely. So that is a rhythmic grouping. So if you've got that, so you might play a group. The problem is if there's no gap in the rhythm, it's not a rhythm. It's just a grouping. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you've got a rhythmic grouping like that, it's not really a rhythm. It is a rhythm, but it's just there's no rest in it. So if you were to play a really simple one. So if Dan gives me a C, maybe a C minor groove, so your 8th note, da, 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 da. If you play 3 8th notes, so you go 1 and 2. Okay, there's your 3 8th notes, but you miss out the last one. So you go da 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 da. Okay, you can hear it's kind of an interesting rhythm. It's the most simple one, but it's very interesting rhythmically. So I could also do 5/8. I'm just doing really simple ones here. I could play 4 8th notes and leave a gap. So we go 3, 4, 1 and 2 and gap, 1 and 2 and gap, 1 and 2 and gap, 1 and 2 and gap. So you get this. It starts to sound cool when you double time them? Dagga da ga, ba dagga da, dagga da ga, ba dagga da, dagga da ga, ba dagga da. So there I'm playing 5/16 over 4/4. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you practice odd time signatures, Dave?
Well, I've just realised that I don't really know how to answer the question in that I write a lot in odd time signatures, but it's the melody that dictates the time signature. So in terms of practicing to play over it, I'd write the solo. But for me, odd time signatures are never about it being a clever odd time signature thing.
Like, look
It's
at
the
me, I'm playing in
it's
15, 16 or
It's the
whatever.
melody. I write a lot in 5 and 7 and stuff like that, but it's just the melody that dictates it, and you just
Sort of feel for it.
I would also suggest, this is really obvious, and you will have heard this before, and there's a reason why it's obvious, because it's a really good way of doing it, is to break the time signature down into more understandable bits.
yeah.
So like 7 would be 4 and 3.
yeah.
And all you need to do is, if you're going to improvise over 7, you just need to do it lots and lots and lots over a static vamp until you find you can resolve your phrases to beat 1, and you can only do it by doing it lots and lots. Where it becomes more difficult is if you've got chord changes, because then you've got to resolve your line absolutely specifically in the chord change, and then you will find very quickly if you can do it or not. But again, you get better at it by doing it. You don't get, there's no there are methods for it, again, by breaking it down, but you just do it lots and lots and lots and lots, and you will get better at it. And also listen to lots of stuff in different time signatures.
A lot of guys cheat though. They write a song in 7, and then when they improv bit, it goes to 4/4.
Yeah.
So you know.
Okay, Tarnish Nake. How do you carry on with a performance when a non-locking floating trem puts your guitar out of tune? Well, probably when you snap a string. Are there any hacks to keep the trem in tune? Generally bend the string I am going to solo on after using the trem.
Use a slide like.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say, see that,
Use the slide.
That was great, wasn't it?
RE, that Guthrie video, or C, whatever it is.
But the thing to buy is a Tremel No.
Yeah, I've got one in this guitar actually.
If the webcam was working, I'd show it to you, but it's not. It'll go out of focus if you go
Will
too
it?
close, but
Okay.
they can see it there, I think.
So
Do you want to point to it?
It's this thing here. It just has 2 lock-in parts that and I just pull the trem up to pitch and then lock it.
I've got one on my super Mexican Strat.
Really? You've got a Tremel No on it?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I've got
didn't
mine.
know.
I've spent so much money on the guitar. It's got like a what's the Eric Johnson?
It's like a
British
hot
Blade.
rod.
Maybe it needs a string change, but maybe I'll bring it in one time.
Okay, so yeah, Tremel No basically. There's some other options on the market as well, but they basically lock your bridge down.
Yeah.
Well, not bridge, they lock the springs at the back. Daniel Craig, expensive gear or if it just sounds good? If it just sounds good, man. Don't worry about how much it costs.
Sounds
Learn to use what you've got.
Reliable gear, if anything.
The only time
you need to
worry about
something's going to break, you know.
Yeah, the only time you need to worry about how much it costs is if it sounds amazing and costs lots, at which point, you know, you're going to have to spend some money. Matthew Eversick. Hi Tom, I really enjoy your playing and original sound. You're a huge inspiration. Thank you very much. Here's a question for the Guitar Hour. When you develop your own sound, how do you avoid sounding like your influences, taking something from them and making it your own?
That's a good one.
I know the answer.
That's a whole main topic, that is.
Yeah, that is a massive topic. Yeah. Should we leave that one and maybe do it?
I'll just give you a really brief answer. I've done a podcast on this.
Oh, well, that's genuinely perfect. So.
It's on the Bronzecast and it's called Steel. Don't imitate steel. And I really believe that all art is taking old information and reassembling it to make new information. So the answer is just draw your influences from as wide as possible, and then that'll give you your own sound.
I think if you do that, it'll kind of happen by accident.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when you get really, you see guys that get really obsessed with one guy,
Yeah.
and that's all they listen to, but they end up being like a bad version of that guy.
Yeah. And if you find something you like, do it a lot. That's what I do. Then you get your own sound because you always repeat the same stuff.
Also, it's actually, in many cases, depending on where you are in your playing, not the worst thing in the world to go through a phase where you sound just like somebody. You speak to a lot of really great players, they will describe their development
Phases.
to
That's
you
where you start,
in
isn't it?
phases. Yeah, some guys are always in a phase. Like I, so it's like, I don't know if you could maybe say your phases, but I had this is when I was very young, a Steve Vai phase when I was 15, 16. You know, Steve Vai and Satch phase, then I had a big Dream Theatre phase, I wanted to be John Petrucci, then I had a big Scott Henderson phase, then the most massive Pat Metheny phase. I really wanted to be, I sounded I couldn't play like Pat Metheny, but I had the same tone, the same guitar, everything. Then I had a big Kurt Rosenwinkel phase, then I had a massive Greg Howe phase and a Brett Garsted phase, and now a big Alan Hines phase where I was just playing all of his stuff. So it's fine. That amalgamation of all those things. It's if you you get guys who basically try and sound exactly like Holdsworth, and they obviously don't listen to anybody else. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
It was a while back. I think it was on a ship when I did it. But I got like we should do this, but I don't know if we'll have enough paper to do it. But what you do is you can do like it's almost like a spider diagram, but it's not because you start at one corner and you go forward. But you say who your first massive influence was, and then what players they led you to, and then what players those guys led you to, and you can kind of see your path. But
I think there's a story somebody said about Nat King Cole, and he started out really imitating another singer who's totally gone out of my head now, and at some point he became popular enough to become a singer in his own right. So he stopped being like an imitation and started developing his own style. And I think that's the path of many people, is you starting with your heroes is a really good place to start, but at some point you've got to leave that and try and forge your own thing.
I mean, if you like some of the guys that we all listen to, so like Osnoy, for instance. Osnoy told me that he was desperate to be Wes Montgomery first, then he was desperate to be Alan Holdsworth. Now you listen to him; he can do a ridiculous impression of both of those guys, believe it or not. Wes Montgomery maybe makes more sense, but he does a pretty good impression of Alan Holdsworth. But those things have all formed into his own playing. Someone else asked, who was it? Danny, how do you know when you found your own sound? Well, actually, you can have some inkling, but generally other people will tell you.
Yeah, I think it's more than going right. I have got my own sound now. I've made it. It's more like I know what I like, and there's certain things within your playing that you really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And if you really enjoy doing them, you're probably doing well, which will then become your style.
And by the way, just so you know, when you find things that work for you, you will become bored of them just as quickly as you did the other things that you learned in your life. It's always moving goalposts, so that's not meant to be a downer, because at that point you will have things that are yours, but just be aware that you will never reach a point of true satisfaction musically. It's impossible.
You'll never be satisfied.
It's true.
I do worry about that.
Move along, don't we?
Yep. So Simon Taylor Mosley.
I don't even understand that.
How do you guys think about superimposition or extracting over chord change? I would love to give you an in-depth answer about that, but it's a huge, huge question because it's so dependent on what you're playing. And so, what did you say?
I was talking to you about this because of the whole superimposition thing, the mindset. Because there's things like people will go, oh well, you play this arpeggio over this chord, but I kind of visually think that might be helpful, but I know you guys don't think about that. Well, I don't necessarily think about it like that.
Let me give you a couple of examples. So we played Spain earlier on, and people will always tell you that, and it's quite correct as well. Over that over that 2-5-1, you can play over the 2 chords. You can play B minor pentatonic. So maybe if you give me the 2 chords, over the 5 chords you can go. Sorry, I've got total brain failure. Yes, please. And then over the 1 chord you can play up a semitone again. Now that's people do that all the time, and that's one form of superimposition. But if you only think that way, you're in a bad place. You need to be able to switch that on like a flag in your brain in order to phrase. So if you give me that 2-5-1, perfect. I'm going to start with B minor. You can hear that works, but like if you just think, right, I've got to superimpose, that's clever, I'll do that all the time. You don't want to be doing that.
Plus it's steps, isn't it? If you're looking at a set of changes if you haven't necessarily played over them before, it's like, right, well, that's E, I've got to think up a 5th or up a 4th or whatever, and
you're disconnected from the actual information.
Yes.
You're not thinking from.
And that might be okay if
no
you
power
really.
in that as such, you know.
What that doesn't give you is, like, if we do that one more time, and then I'll make this the last thing, is a much more melodic approach where you can outline chord tones. So you can play super simple. So I'll just play just a couple of notes on each chord. to me is a much more
Musical.
satisfying and
Yeah.
musical approach.
Yeah, I mean, I get that totally as well, and I think that I find it hard to think. And you've talked to me about this, about how you could get other sounds by doing that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's almost like you're turning on not a trick, but you're like
It is in a way though.
you're turning on a thing.
What was the one you were
That's
talking
what I mean
about?
about the flag
Oh,
going.
it was like a
Specifically.
gypsy jazz thing. It's like if you've got
Playing
got an
number two
E,
over
if
the
you've got an A7, let's turn that off. So if you've got like a,
Oh, fuck that low. I can't be quiet. There we go.
so instead of, I would normally think just standard normal A7 stuff, but what they were talking about is superimposing the two, so you think
Yeah.
E minor over the A7, so do it again. So if you do normal gypsy jazz stuff,
Yeah. So
so it's like a, if you obviously if you did that from a, like a, it's like,
against the root, though. So you
so A7's happening, but you're thinking E
Yeah.
minor, so you've got the same like,
But the same. Okay, so the same thing. Okay,
So-
we're going to end up in a big tangent.
you're getting 5,
Yeah.
flat 7 and 9
Yeah.
if you think of
It's-
it in the grown-up way.
Okay, so the
Not
same
to-
thing happens if you give me like a just an A13. That's perfect. Yeah, just do it like just do that. It's fine. Yeah, just make it super simple. If you play off the A7 and you get that's one sound, but Wes Montgomery always used to play this. Used to play off the A minor 7. And it gives you a very
It's E
specific
minor
sound,
7.
E minor 7.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know whether he thought of it that way, or whether it was just a thing that he played. Played off the 2, basically.
Yeah. The weird thing is, if you do that,
gives-
you're not necessarily getting the third of the.
No, you're getting the
I mean,
9, aren't you?
Yeah, you're
So it's
getting.
the same thing as the Gypsy Jazz guys, but he's not going.
Yeah, he's not doing the enclosure thing. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't go to the flat 7, would you?
So when you're talking about the E minor, you mean so the Dorian E, like
So yeah, so they're
Yeah.
thinking of like thinking of that
Two
as a
of
5
the-
and a
yeah.
2 of that. Yeah.
So there's loads of different superimpositions you can learn, and you should learn them as well.
I feel like that could have been a simple answer, but I kind of took them.
It's alright.
oh,
all
we're nearly on
useful
time as
information.
well.
Oh, sorry, boys.
Sorry, Dan. I'll let you off.
So yeah, just don't worry too much about it. You know, you should be able to do both things. The other thing is, if you're doing, I'll make this the last point, I promise. If you're doing loads of superimpositions, when the changes aren't there, you're not going to hear the changes very easily.
Just don't get too clever. Just get really good at outlining the changes without any
Yeah.
magic.
Be Dan Smith, like be tasty, play the tasty notes.
Oh.
Peter
Cheers.
Scaloni, I see you in the chat all the time. Sorry, I don't know how, I can't pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry. Is the solo contest going to be a seasonal thing? Really good question. We haven't thought about it.
Don't know. We'll let you know next week.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll let you know next
It's
week.
been quite. It's
I
been
thought it was a good
successful.
idea.
I mean, it's gone. I mean,
I wouldn't want to overdo it, is the thing. But maybe we'll just
We've
get
got
Dave
a-
to write a different
go-
theme for next season.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know I will.
Have you just challenged him to write another theme tune?
Yeah, why not?
Took out the velvet glove.
Do it again.
Right, guys, I'm just going to load up the backing track for the
Speaking of
Guitar Hour theme. I'm just going to make a loud noise. So last week it was
Do we need to
nuts.
turn the mic down?
Yeah. And possibly the volume on here as well for now. Because I can't
Oh,
load
who's
it.
soloing this week?
I'll gladly take one. Right, let me get my shred sound on. Could be shreddier, couldn't it? Should we engage channel 2 as well? Okay, that's good. Right. Just give me 2 seconds because I forgot it last week. Oh, God. Got it. And I played a really, really horrible note, which is unforgivable when we're playing Dave's theme tune. Right, guys, just give me some noise. Let me see how loud it is. That's pretty good, I reckon. So who's soloing? Me. Who else?
I'll go because I didn't go last week.
Right.
Dan?
All right, I'll do a bit.
Right, guys. So me, you, Dan. All right. So we'll play this. We'll do 2 bars each. This is gonna be fun. And then yeah, that's it. Next week.
Oh yeah, do you want to say that?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to announce it. We're all confirmed.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm aware, it's confirmed. So if it doesn't, we'll do it another time and make sure it's all good. It just depends on whether they get something that comes up. But next week, we plan. At the moment, it's confirmed that we have Daniel Steinhardt and Mick Taylor from That Pedal Show on the show. Okay, via Skype because they live in Swindon. Well, Mick lives in London. So we're going to get those guys on the show live. You guys can put your questions to them from their legendary show, That Pedal Show. It's going to be awesome. You can ask Daniel about pedals, Mick about guitars and pedals, about amps, all sorts of things, about tone, anything you want, guys. They're going to be there, and we'll do an interview with them live. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we will see you next week. Up until then, we'll just play this, and then we'll do our usual goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed the show, guys. We always enjoy it. So we will play this and see you
Thanks for watching.
next week, guys. Last show of the season. Get your entries for the Guitar Hour competition.
And Gasturbation.
Gasturbation and the solo thing. Right, here we go. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Totally
Bye-bye.
nearly fell over then.